Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Please be seated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please introduce yourself to the board.
My name is Asit Mohanty. I come from a very small village of Puri district. I passed my post-graduation in 2021 from Ravenshaw University, Cuttack. I am also an internationally rated chess player and own first prize in blind chess for Odisha. My hobby is playing chess, and this is my first attempt and first interview in SSB Lecturer.
Your area of specialization is American literature.
Yes, ma'am.
Which plays of Eugene O'Neill you have read?
I have not read completely, but Tom Jones
Eugene O'Neill.
Eugene O'Neill's Desire Under the Elms is there, Emperor Jones is there. So I have just known Emperor Jones.
There is a particular technique which Eugene O'Neill has used in Emperor Jones.
Sorry, I cannot remember that.
Which play of Arthur Miller was there in your syllabus?
Arthur Miller, Death of a Salesman. It was in the syllabus.
It was in the syllabus. Who is the salesman there in Death of a Salesman?
Santiago.
Who is the salesman in Death of a Salesman?
Santiago, ma'am.
Santiago is Old Man and the Sea of Ernest Hemingway.
Okay, so this is as far as I can remember, it is Willy Loman.
Yes, very good. So why does Willy Loman commit suicide?
He could not catch any fish for so many times. He was frustrated, and
Again, you are confusing between Ernest Hemingway and Eugene O'Neill. Sorry, Arthur Miller. When you are talking about Santiago, it is Old Man and the Sea of Hemingway.
okay.
For 84 days, he was catching without any fish.
Okay.
I'm talking about Death of a Salesman, which is a play by Arthur Miller, whose protagonist is Willy Loman. So why does Willy Loman commit suicide in that play?
Sorry, ma'am, I cannot remember.
Okay. Have you come across Dostoevsky, Fyodor Dostoevsky?
Yes.
Which novel?
Brother Karamazov I have just read, and Dostoevsky's novels, others like Notes from the Underworld.
The most famous.
Most famous. Okay, the character of Raskolnikov in the novel, I just cannot remember right now. Raskolnikov character.
Punishment.
Crime and Punishment.
Do you find any similarities between the absurd plays of like Waiting for Godot, which is very much there in your syllabus?
Yes.
Which everybody has read.
With Crime and Punishment?
Yeah, with Dostoevsky and all.
Okay, so in Absurdity or Waiting for Godot, it was meaninglessness was there, absurdity was there. Similarly, in this novel, Crime and Punishment, the old woman who had a lot of money, and he was not utilizing that money. So this was a kind of underutilization of her own potentiality. So this can be also meaninglessness of having so many money if that person has no duty to do. So that can be a relation.
Maybe it is your perception, but it is. I don't think so. That is.
Okay.
Meaningless absurdity is what?
Meaningless.
Purposelessness and meaninglessness in life. why did why did the writers turn to absurd theatre?
Writers turned to absurd theatre just after World War II. Because after World War II, everyone came to know that life is purposeless, life is meaningless. We can be destroyed within a single second. So that was the reason that they went writing absurd plays.
Okay. Then from that we have also come across a term called coined by Gertrude Stein,
Lost generation. Yes.
So what is that lost generation?
It is also post-war trauma, we can say. In Lost Generation, that is also kind of post-war displacement, or you can say disappointment after World War II. People.
It was used by Ernest Hemingway.
Yes,
The
Ernest.
Sun Also Rises,
Yes,
and Gertrude Stein also.
yes, ma'am.
So they were about which Americans? The Americans residing in the United States or the Americans in Europe? Though who felt that it is a lost generation?
In Europe, those who are residing in Europe.
Very good. You can ask.
Can you have some difference between alliteration and assonance?
Sir, both are figures of speech, but alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds. On the other hand, assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds.
Can
Okay.
you have examples?
Okay, so we can also take the example of a Hindi song, Asiki Mein Teri. That is called assonance. As far as alliteration is concerned, this is the repetition of consonant sounds. We can say red roast, or something like this. We can be consonants repetition.
Okay. Do you have any idea about receptive and productive skills in English language?
No, sir.
As far as school teaching, school level or intermediate level teaching English is concerned, we have fourfold skills of teaching English. What are those?
Skills of teaching. No, sir. No such idea.
Okay. What is meant by transitive verb?
So transitive verb having a direct object is called transitive verbs. For example, I can say I read the poem. Here, the poem is the direct object.
He
And
slapped me.
yes,
Which one is the object?
he slapped me. So here, no is nothing. An object is not identifiable. It is intransitive verb. Sir.
Then what is that word me?
Me is also indirect object.
You told that it is intransitive because no object is there.
No, sir, it was object, but not direct one.
So transitive verb केवल direct object ही नबो. Indirect object नेले से transitive verb होगा नहीं.
This will be intransitive, sir.
तामने आमे एटी मी को आगो को नहीं कि पैसिवाइज करी परिवानी सेंटेंस टा को he slapped me रे.
No, sir. I also me. Okay. I was slapped. If we do that, I slapped me, na? You told?
He slapped me.
Oh, he slapped me. Oh, yes, it can be.
Make it passivized.
He slapped me. I was slapped.
I was slapped.
Yes.
तो से पटरू माने ऑब्जेक्ट बाहर कल ऑब्जेक्ट को आगो पाणी के तम पैसिवाइज करू छ देन स्लैप टा केमते इंट्रांजिटिव होला.
Slapped me.
अच्छा
It was good.
विष्णु शर्मा का नाम सुनछो?
Yes, sir.
पंचतंत्र लिखथिले.
Sir.
पंचतंत्र रे एनिमल स्टोरीज गुडा बहुत पढथिला.
Again.
क्लियरली सब स्टोरी रे को फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच यूज होइतला.
Personification, sir.
sir.
If you get SSB, you will be getting into teaching +2 students, right?
Degree students, sir.
Degree students, right?
Yes.
You will be teaching them English.
Yes.
Okay. And you have not done your B.Ed, I think.
I am continuing B.Ed.
Huh?
Continuing B.Ed.
You are continuing where?
North Odisha University.
North Odisha University.
Yes.
Okay. What are the good qualities of a good teacher? Why should your student like you?
So if something is taught to the students and they can answer the concept, they can explain the concept themselves. So I think this is a good teaching, and the teacher who has taught that lesson is the good teacher.
Are you sure what you are telling me?
Yes, sir.
Then all the things that you could not answer, that makes your teacher not a good teacher.
No, that cannot be, because I have also some.
Just a minute.
Yes.
You are contradicting.
No, sir.
I asked you, is a good teacher. You defined it.
Yes.
I applied that definition on you right now. Right? Out of 9 questions which has been asked from the beginning, right? You were trying to answer that, but you are not confident on at least 4 answers.
Yes.
Correct? So, does it make your teacher not a good teacher?
No, sir. That I cannot accept this.
So, I asked you,
Yes.
what makes a good teacher?
So that I can say that the concept, if the students can explain well, they have understood well, and the person who has taught them, that should be a good teacher.
Google can make you understand certain things.
Good,
Is Google a good teacher?
so Google can be
Or
an
YouTube?
Google can be an assistant. On the other hand, YouTube can be a good teacher.
If YouTube can be a good teacher?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Then I think SSB should ban this recruitment. Why should he pay monthly 50,000, 60,000 rupees to people when YouTube can be a good teacher? What is your opinion on that?
Yes, sir. That is the offline teaching and online teaching, both are different, sir.
No, I am not. Online, say class pilla basive.
Okay.
There will be a panel board. YouTube will be played that. Somebody will be there. Play so why should someone pay 50,000-60,000 rupees to a teacher?
So this
Say teacher जो मैंने सेठी पढ़े वैसे मैंने भी YouTube रे अच्छे नहीं
yes, sir.
YouTube रे सारा इंडिया रे बहुत भले teacher पढ़ाउछन्ती. Why this is not possible in a class, and why SSB should not stop this appointment?
So first of all, we need a good internet facility. We need some infrastructure. Still, we have some lacunas. Like the teacher who is teaching in YouTube cannot stop and explain the students when they are unable to understand any topic because they are teaching in their own flow. So they cannot interact with the students. On the other hand, an offline teacher can interact with the students and can stop and channelize his or her teaching as per the progress of the students.
What difference it makes?
Difference, sir, we can pay attention to each and every student. Individual attention can be there in the class. Then classroom management will be there.
Have you ever been in a class, online class?
Yes, sir.
You are not able to interact?
Yes, I was
Then
interacting.
why you are contradicting?
Oh, yes, sir. First of all,
You have been able to interact, and now
Yes.
you are explaining me that students cannot interact.
students can interact in YouTube classes through chat messages. But the problem is class management, sir. If a student is doing some mischievous activities in the class, he will disturb the rest of the students in the
This is
class.
another thing. You have not told me, I have not asked on this.
Yes.
You are slipping away from your answer. You answered something, I asked a question on that.
Yes.
Right? And now you are giving me another answer. You are not justifying your answer. Okay. You explained nicely the difference between assonance and this one. So, if you are supposed to teach this figures of speech in your class, will you give the example of this Hindi film songs?
Yes, sir, because my students will be more familiar with Hindi film songs, and they are also
So
familiar.
when they will answer, they will write those answers, the Hindi film songs as an example.
This is for the understanding purpose, sir. And if they are going to write this answer, this will not be accepted because
So
it is
how
Hindi.
how they can, when you will be giving them Hindi film examples,
Yes.
how they will learn those English things? They will learn at home.
No, sir. I will also teach them with English examples also, but for the better understanding, we can give some examples from our day-to-day activity.
Who authorized that? Is our education authorizing us to use mother tongue in your B.Ed class? When you will be taking classes, they are asking not to speak any language other than English, right?
Yes.
Huh? So when you are trained not to use any other language, that means you are forbidden.
Yes, sir.
So how will you use that?
This is not for the answer, writing the answer or something. We can be bilingual sometimes because as per the needs and the standard of the student. If the standard is if the standard of the student is low and he is unable to understand English properly, we have to be bilingual. This is called code switching or code mixing and switching between Hindi and English.
Okay. What is the difference between a linguist and a polyglot?
So, linguist, a person who has a good, thorough knowledge on the language, and next
On a language.
on a language, and what are the other things, sir? You told?
Polyglot.
Polymyth,
Polyglot.
polyglot, sir. I first time encountered this word.
Poly means what?
Poly means many.
Can you guess?
Polyglot. So I can say that a
Yes.
person who has knowledge in multiple areas,
Multiple language.
multiple languages.
Okay. And how about your playing chess? Can you tell me if your opponent is playing a game, with your opponent, how many steps you have to think in advance so that you can counter that?
The more I can anticipate the
How many
moves.
steps?
If 5 steps I can anticipate, I can beat him.
So about five steps will do that.
This is the minimum, sir.
Yeah.
As per because we have also a timer system, we cannot take more time.
I'm not
Otherwise,
taking the time. I'm thinking time. Will you think 5 steps ahead
yes, sir.
or more than that?
As
Is it
per
necessary?
not necessary to think more steps than 5.
5 steps ahead, you can
Yes.
calculate and do that.
Yes, sir.
Huh? And this, you said I am punctual and hardworking. Can you prove that to us?
Because in this interview also we arrived on time. I arrived on time and we told my
You arrived
friends.
on time or in time?
On time, sir.
Not in time.
I could not in time because it was public transport, but being punctual should be in time.
What is the difference?
In time means before time. For example, the examination is at 10 a.m. We should arrive before 10 a.m., 9:55 or 9:50. But if we arrive sharply at 10, that will be on time.
Good. Over to you, sir.
Demonstration.
Good afternoon, class. In the last class, we have discussed about figures of speech and to be more particular about alliteration and assonance. But this class, we are going to discuss a new thing today. Are you excited for that? Okay, very good. Today we will discuss about personification. Personification is also another figure of speech like your alliteration and assonance and whatever you have already read, simile, metaphor or anything. Personification is generally used when a non-human object or we can say a non-living object is giving the status of living thing. For example, if I say a non-living object like river is roaring. Lion can roar, but how can a river can roar? So this can be the example of personification. We can also take some easy example from our day-to-day activities, from our day-to-day life. The clock is ticking. Clock is not a person. He doesn't have any human quality. He doesn't have life, but that clock is ticking. So this ticking we can also associate with personification, and this personification is quite similar to another concept given by John Ruskin, and that is pathetic fallacy. Pathetic fallacy, it's a term given by the Victorian theorist and Victorian critic John Ruskin, and this pathetic fallacy is also used with non-living objects when they are given the human status or when they are given the living status. Okay. So I also gave some examples like the river is roaring, clock is ticking. You can also give me some examples. Okay. So with the help of these examples and the definition of personification, we have understood very well how personification is and what it is and what about the uses of personification. In your text also, in the any poem or anything, you can identify very easily what will be the personification. Thank you class, and thank you for listening me.
You will have your feedback, then you will move away. Okay. ଆଉ ଟିକେ ପଢ଼ାପଢ଼ି ଭଲରେ କର।
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ମୁଁ ଦୁଇଟା ଜିନିଷ ତୁମକୁ କହିବି। ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ହେଉଛି ड्यूरिंग द डिस्कसन तुम ट्राप हो जाउछ आ ता भीतर बाहरिबार टेक्निक जानिन माने
जोटा सर कहितले गोटे
आजिर इंटरव्यू भीतर मु जदि पचरा जाय आजिर इंटरव्यू रे अभिमन्यु किए ताले मु कहबी तमे जे कि भीतर को पसिबा जानि छी तो बाहरिबा
सर बहुत भलो माने ट्रैप कर दउछथि जोटर की गले
एही त मु ट्रैप करियार मोर उद्देश्य
हैला तेनु कर तमे
उद्देश्य हो जे तम भीतर थिबा जिंसटा बाहर करिया
आ गुटा जिंस देखो तमे कम निजे ट्रैप हला देखो तुमको कोला पर्सनिफिकेशन पढिया पाई
ठीक
बुझेला मु केमति एई तीटा जिंस ही कहबी तमे ट्रैप रे निजको फसौछ तुमको कोला पर्सनिफिकेशन पढेबो तमे पर्सनिफिकेशन पढेबो पर्सनिफिकेशन को जदि कुआ जिवो जे 2 मिनिट रे कुह तमे खाली डेफिनेशन कहि दबो 3 मिनिट कुह गोटे एग्जांपल कहबो 4 मिनिट कुह चारटा एग्जांपल कहबो 10 मिनिट कुह बुलेई बालेई पंचतंत्र कथा कहि परिबो किंतु तमे निजको ट्रैप करी करी वर्तमान कोन कलो ना पैथेटिक फालासी नहीं आइलो वर्तमान इंटरव्यू बोर्ड जे चुपचाप करी बसतले पैथेटिक फालासी सी बिता मन रो भूल जाइतले वर्तमान सी केबे र मु आउ दिरा क्वेश्चन पचरछि पैथेटिक फालासी ऊपर फसिबो
आज्ञा सर
तो जानी
बुझियो छी तो ए जिंसटा पर हाइलाइट कर तनु करी जोटा जानिचो एटा मे बी क्लास पई हुए तो ठीक हेइ थाई पारे मना कोनी पिलांग कहि देबाटा हैला किंतु तमे चेष्टा करनी जे मु आउ गोटे ताठू बेटर कांसेप्ट कहि देले इंटरव्यू पैनल वुड बी वेरी हैप्पी अब आ बढ़िया प्लेटा बढ़िया कंटेंट नॉलेज अछि नहीं एटा जदियो एटा होछि दुई धरी तलवार बेले बेले काम करे आ बेले बेले आज माने टोटल आरंभ रु भूल हे न थबो जो कांसेप्ट को तमे डाकी के आनी के भीतर को आनिलो सेठी भूलटा हबो असुविधा पड़िबो बुझुछि सो डोंट लेट योरसेल्फ टू बी ट्रैप्ड आ सेही भलिया सिचुएशन मेंटेन कर आउटे पढ़ा पढ़ी कर जबरदस्त कर ठीक अछि देन
सो what is but don't try to exhibit your knowledge.
Yes.
Understand? Whatever is required, just say that much. Okay. Don't go beyond that.
Yes.
Okay? You have done well. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Wish you 100% success. Okay?
And then आसुच when you are going to interview board ते गोटे स्माइल करियो के कष्ट कहीं होछि अरे
आज्ञा
आज्ञा ना व्हाई देरी मु पचरछि कष्ट कहीं होछि ना आज्ञा
तमर प्रॉब्लम ता कोछि तमर पीडब्ल्यूडी रे पकेछ
अरे
तमर पीडब्ल्यूडी रे
पीडब्ल्यूडी कैटेगरी मोर
माने तमर प्रॉब्लम ता कोठी
आई लो विजन मैम
low vision. How much vision you have?
I have 40% disability, means I am 60% I can see. and 40% I cannot. With glasses I can see around 75%.
Okay. You may go. Thank you.